Okay. So, next previous class we discussed about the outcome based curricula, what is outcome based education. Now, this class I will talk about how to design outcome based curricula. So, this is theoretical part. There will be a, I will demonstrate a software in during this course, where you will develop your own curricula using that framework software. Here I will just describe in what principle we said how to design outcome based curricula kind of things. Most of you already cover NBA writing or NBA documentation, all those things. So, most NBA documentation structure and this my structure will almost equal, except I will details describe how to design outcome based course, individual course, not only the course outcome, but also module, lecture, all those things, and reference material, problem, all those things, how do you include in the curricula, so that it can ensure the implementation of NBA in the classroom. Okay? So, let us start with the program structures. So, what kind of program structures is required for outcome based education? All of you know that academic institution there is a mission and vision statement, program educational outcome. So, mission and vision statement is this up to this level is institution. You can say this is institutional, whole institutional part, mission and vision statement. Program educational outcome is program specific. BTech computer science is a program, MTech computer science is a program, BTech civil is a program. So, that is program. Then every program must ensure that your accreditation. So, a program is measurable with respect to 12 dimension, 12 PO, PO1, PO2, PO3 like this. So, a program has to be measured with respect to 12 dimension of accreditation, that 5 are domain specific skill and 7 are domain independent skill. So, that is called program outcome, solving ability, analyzing ability, design ability, testing ability, synthesis ability. Then communication skill, ethics, lifelong learning, individual teamwork, project management and finance, environment and sustainability, all are domain independent skill. So, a program must ensure that all the skill is developed on the students. What I say, outcome based education. So, the target of the education must ensure the target for the accreditation requirement. So, if I say solving ability, how do you develop the solving, let us civil engineer solving ability. So, the domains of civil engineering, there are some solving abilities required. So, those solving ability has to be developed. How do you develop? By a course, different kind of course. So, all program outcome must develop through a different kind of course. During my accreditation lecture, I have mentioned that 5 domain dependent skill developed through different domain scores. But how do you develop domain independent skill? Should I offer for every domain independent skill one subject? Can I teach ethics? I have to develop engineering ethics. How do I develop? Ethics has to be developed by practices. Communication skill, how do you develop? Only one course on one semester English for communication or 2 semester is sufficient, which will develop the communication skill of the students. Lifelong learning, can I offer a subject for lifelong learning? So, how do you develop the domain independent PO also? By teaching learning process. So, if you see this slide, I said the program outcome can be developed through those course outcome and teaching learning process. Combined together can develop PO. What is course outcome? The target or the skill which has to be developed in a particular course. So, if you see mission vision statement, program educational outcome, PO, and what is program specific outcome? What is that program specific outcome? So, all 12 PO are in general skill. If it is taken for computer science, then it is computer science PO. So, design ability in computer science, testing ability. So, I cannot ask a civil engineer to design a push pull amplifier. So, design ability will be on domain specific, solving ability will be on domain specific, modern tools uses will be on domain specific. So, once the PO is adapted for the particular department or particular program, I never say department, say program, then it is called program specific outcome. What extra things? So, there is a 5 dimension: solving, analyzing, design, testing, modern tools uses means synthesis. So, what is the, how do you write the domain specific outcome? Is this 5-year domain specific outcome? So, there is another trick is there. So, it will come from the institute or program. Suppose institute A running a computer science program, institute B also running a computer science program. Is 2 computer science program is same? If it is same, then NBA document can be developed one by MHRD and circulate to everybody. Follow this. Why it is not happen? Because the program, the target, this education, if you see the basic principle of education system is there to produce some skill labor. So, suppose institute A want to produce computer science graduate who will take part or who will be employable in local industry. Institute B want to produce a computer science graduate who will take care about the high end research. So, their program specific outcome will be not same for 2 institutes. Okay, let us start from the beginning. Mission vision statement of the institute. Unfortunately, if you see that, if you collect 9 or 10 NBA document of different institute, you find mission vision statement all are same, almost same. Everybody says that I will produce an excellent research engineer, excellent academia. Is it true? If an institute says that I follow MIT curricula, is that this institute becomes MIT? All subject curricula I follow. Somebody may say that okay, I follow the IIT curricula, and that institute becomes IIT. So, following the curricula is not that institute become to that level. So, it depends on the institute intake, institute resources, institute faculty, institute target, all are related to it. So, suppose institute A is created to develop manpower for local software industry. So, institute A cannot claim my mission and vision is to produce a high end research engineer, because their resource and their intake does not support that. So, mission and vision statement of the institute must be written as per their output, as per their end target. I want to produce engineer to supply manpower to the CTS, TCS, IBM, local software industry. So, my institute target is not produce an engineer who will take care about the high end research. Okay. So, institute mission and vision statement depends on the what kind of output I want to produce. It is not that once I write a mission and vision statement, it will be valid for a lifetime. It is not true. Mission and vision statement can be changed. Initially, your resource may be very low, your input may be very low quality. So, your target is not research, but after a long time your research is changed, your input scenario is changed, you can change your mission and vision statement to that level. So, depending on the current target, depending on the current resources, depending on the input students, what kind of input students is available, you can write your mission vision statement. It is specific to the institute only. That is why the different institute has different mission and vision statement. It will be never same, because different institute resources are different, targets are different, and input scenario is different. Now, come to the program educational outcome, PEO, or program educational objective. If the objective is written in instructional system design principle, then I can say this is outcome. So, program educational outcome, PEO, or program educational, sometimes say program educational objective. So, program institute A, program let us computer science, CSE, institute B, program CSE is not same. So, their program educational outcome also not same. Both are CSE, but their targets are different. This institute want to produce high-end research engineer of computer science. This institute want to produce engineer to supply local industry. So, program educational objective is depends on what kind of output you want to produce. It is not necessary everybody has to produce a good researcher, good academician, we will supply manpower at the world standard, not like that. So, how do you write down PEO? PEO must be specific to your employment scenario. So, suppose your program is designed to produce a manpower for the industry A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Find out what kind of skill are necessary by those industry. Take a survey on those skill requirement by those industry. Try to say that if I want to produce that kind of skill, what should be my outcome? So, program educational outcome sitting in the institute will be never happen. You have to find out what kind of output you want to produce, for whom, find out their requirement, analyze those requirements and write down your program educational outcome. How many? 5 to 6 is sufficient for program educational outcome. Okay. Then come to the program specific, already I have discussed. Once the PO is taken to the department or program, then it is program specific. And also let us take an example. Suppose institute A electrical or electronics engineering program and institute B also a EC program, electronics and communication engineering ECE program. Are those program specific outcome will be same? No. The program specific outcome of ECE also follow the 5 domain dependent PO, and program specific outcome of institute B ECE also follow the 5 domain dependent PO, but they are never one to one corresponds. Why? Because institute A ECE may be very good in microwave, institute B ECE may be very good in VLSI design. So, institute B inclined to produce engineer who are more skilled on VLSI design, institute A is produce engineer who are more skilled on microwave engineering. That should be reflected in program specific outcome, but the dimension is 5: solving ability, analyzing ability, design ability, testing ability and modern tools uses ability. Okay. Then come to the course outcome. So, all PO, domain specific PO or general PO, all has to be achieved by a course and teaching learning process. So, what should I do in the class so that I can say that my teaching learning process is catered to development of communication skill, lifelong learning, teamwork, all domain independent skill while I am teaching a domain dependent subject. So, when I make the CO-PO mapping, which I will describe later, the mapping between CO-PO, mapping between PO-PEO, all are I will describe later. So, during that time I have to think what I have done in the class. So, I can say only course outcome is not sufficient to say that those courses are required for develop this kind of program outcome. So, only seeing the course outcome, I cannot say that program is match the accreditation requirement. Along with the CO, I should know what kind of teaching learning process is also used in the class, so that I can ensure that the teaching learning process, course outcome together taken care the requirement of accreditation. Okay. Now, if you see this side, I have seen some industry feedback. So why I want to industry feedback here? Suppose Institute A CSE offer a course data structure and algorithm, and the teacher writes some course outcome, and that institute want to produce engineer for local industries. Their program educational outcome says that, and mission vision also of the institute says that. Then I can say that course outcome must be reviewed by the industry. So, one teacher write a course outcome, industry may say this kind of skill is obsolete, better teach this skill. So, that is why active feedback from the industry in the course outcome is very much necessary. Unless what will happen? In a class you may cover a model which may be obsolete in 18th century. Still you are covering the same model, and the teacher is saying, no, basic things has to be known by the students. So, basic is not sufficient to get a BTech degree. I can say basic is necessary, but it is not sufficient condition to get a BTech degree. Unless they are at par with the requirement of the industry, how can I ensure that I have implemented accreditation in the classroom? So, that is why I say that active feedback from the industry is required here. Then teaching learning process, modern tools uses, if you see that. So, suppose you say that mechanical engineering requires a modern tools which is used by industry A, B, C, D, E much more, and our institute may not have that tool. So, industry should come forward to share those resources so that that skill is covered. So, that is why share resources in teaching learning process is also important requirement. Many people as a assumption the theoretical class, why should take care about that practical knowledge on implementation. Suppose you teach a class, take a class on digital signal processing, and you have never given an assignment using a MATLAB or Scilab programming. Are you sure that you are teaching DSP? So, it is not lab, modern tools uses is not covered by lab, it should be covered by subject where it is required. A VLSI engineer says that I am VLSI engineer, but I never know how to write a one single line VHDL code. Can I consider him a VLSI engineer? So, when I write outcome, I must take in care all those things. So, when I discuss the framework, I will say those things repeatedly, and I will show you how to write correct outcome and how to match CO with PO along with domain independent parameters, not only domain dependent parameters. And then what is the task of evaluation? Many times we have make a question paper, write a short note on this, describe Maxwell equation, derive Maxwell equation. Can I say that those are required by the NBA? So, evaluation is only to test student attainment on course outcome, not only domain dependent, but also domain independent, both. So, how do you design the evaluation system or assessment and evaluation system? I should not say that evaluation only, assessment and evaluation system such that I can correctly measure the attainment of student goal or attainment of student course outcome. It is not the student has to pass the subject. Pass is not requirement. Requirement is to I have to ensure the correct assessment of students about their attainment of course goal. So, that is why if you see NBA there is a attainment of CO, PO, all attainment. I will discuss that also in while I teaching about the assessment and evaluation. So, it is not okay, you have to design a question paper 30 marks, students should recall, remember, not that. Recall, remember is not essential condition for BTech degree. Essential is analyze, solve, design, test, synthesis. I am giving example on BTech education, not general education, because my experience on the technical education only. So, once I know the target, my assessment and evaluation only to find out the percentage or you can say the attainment of the target. Then I say there should be a feedback system which is also integral part of the curriculum. I said assessment and evaluation is not to provide marks to the students. It is also essential the revision of your course as a teacher, or you can say as a teacher what feedback, what kind of reinforcement you done on your teaching learning process is also necessary. None of us are see the answer script after providing the marks, but it is very essential. Suppose you find the one of the course goal 80% of the student does not attend. What is the meaning? Meaning is that either course goal is written such a manner which is not achievable, or the teaching learning process which I use is not sufficient to develop that course goal. So, that is the feedback I have to taken after the result analysis. So, that is why there is a feedback. So, entire structure is in curricula, and now course is not only course outcome, it also content course file. What is course file content? Course file content, I will show you the slide, the course file. A course must be structured like this: course outcome, course overview, course level test item, which will be linked with outcome. This will be linked. So, I can say as a course, when you design the outcome based course, it is not only course outcome, it contains course outcome, course overview and also course level test item. What is course outcome? The outcome of that subject is called course outcome, or whatever the subject you taught, that outcome. What is course overview or subject overview? All of you say the subject overview is nothing but the coverage of the subject. It is not coverage of the subject. It also contains how to motivate the student to take this course. So, not only what topic you cover in the subject is important, but it has to be motivate the students. How you motivate the students about the course is course overview also. Then course level test item related to the outcome. It is not that student will never able to solve this, so make it very easy, not that. If your outcome is tough, test item also will be tough. Then module, course is divided into the chapters, so that is called module outcome. Then module overview, that chapter overview. Then again test item and outcome will be linked. I will show you a framework software where this is implemented nicely. Then module learning strategy. That means to achieve this outcome, which book, which chapter, which kind of simulation, which kind of video he has to follow. It is not that please watch this video, then give the NPTEL lecture name. If you give them to students, they never read it. So, a specific link resources is required here. As a teacher, if you say, if this want to achieve, those are the specific resources by which student can achieve this. Again, a chapter consists of different lectures. So, maybe a chapter consists of 5 or 10 lectures. So, each lecture must have a lecture outcome, lecture summary and lecture level test item linked with outcome. This is called course file. So, before student attend the class, he should know entire course file, so that he can engage in the study. How he engaged? He know course outcome, he know test item. He tried to solve that, he tried to achieve it by his own. So, you are actually encouraging self learning. So, what is the difference between this and normal course structure, whatever we have practices? Today, what is their syllabus? Syllabus means list of topic. I give an example, because I am very good, my all example will be electronic side, because my background is electronics. Okay? So, let us give an example, digital signal processing. So, there is written signals and systems, digital system, digital signal, then they written frequency transformation. So, time domain to frequency domain transformation, then filter design, all kinds of things are written. So, the topic list is written, but outcome is not mentioned. So, it is written filter design, FIR filter, IIR filter, window based filter, like this kind of things. But how much complexity of this filter is never written. But here I require outcome only, even if filter design, module outcome, what kind of filter design skill is required, how complex is that skill, which is specific, measurable and achievable. What is the main drawback in normal course syllabus? Suppose a teacher is teaching a course on DSP. He may be very good on frequency transform, signals and system, but he has a very hesitant knowledge in filter design. If you see, it is happened. So, let us out of 40 lectures, 35 lectures he will take on other topic, only 5 lectures on filter design. But who will deprive? Student is deprived, because of the teacher, the student does not know how much filter design is essential for BTech program. So, when he promoted to the next class, he found his knowledge is not sufficient for the next class. But if the outcome is written, so how much filter design is essential, it is mentioned, So, it does not depends on the teachers, it depends on the students. They have to achieve this much of filter design. Whether teacher teach it or not does not matter. So, the biggest advantage of this kind of curricula, I will describe all others advantage also while I am describing the entire how to design outcome based curricula. Okay. So, next module I will cover design of outcome based curricula. To do that you require a Bloom's taxonomy. So, I will change that sequence. Before I start design of outcome based curricula, let us first cover the Bloom's taxonomy. So, next week I will cover the Bloom's taxonomy in details, only application. I am not cover the theoretical parts of the Bloom's taxonomy. How it will be used to design such kind of curricula I will be explain. Okay? So, I will explain next whole week 5 lectures will be on taxonomy of learning and instructional system design, that will be used to write down this outcome. So, that is the tools for write down the outcome, whether it is course outcome, module outcome, unit outcome. So, I will cover that first, and next I will cover how to design outcome based curricula in details. Okay? Thank you.